NBC News has released a bombshell article detailing why the 2024 DeSantis campaign was a complete and total failure. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary. Now, as most of you probably know, the Ron DeSantis campaign has been a complete and total joke from the get-go. I mean, let's face it. This is more than likely one of the worst presidential campaigns we have ever seen. The amount of money, time, manpower, everything that went into this steaming pile of crap is pathetic. I mean, did they do a single thing correct this entire cycle? Well, I can't think of one. And NBC News just a couple hours ago released a bombshell article detailing what went wrong. And they put it in a really good manner. A total failure to launch. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Now, let's be 100% clear. I am not making fun of the DeSantis staffers that are like low-tier volunteers, the ones that actually knock on doors and all of that. I know a lot of them. There are a lot of good people in the DeSantis campaign. But when I mock these people, I'm not talking about them. They actually give a shit. They actually care. I am talking about the Jeff Rose of the world. I mean, let's face it. It's the Ted Cruz people that ran his campaign that are now running DeSantis' campaign into the ground. So, I just wanted to be clear, this isn't an attack on a low-tier staffer that's, knocking on doors. It's not their fault, right? They're really good people that try to help DeSantis. Just the people in leadership are just unbelievably incompetent, stupid, corrupt. I don't know how to even define some of these people, but let's get right into it. Iowa was supposed to be make or break for DeSantis. That's an understatement. His campaign was Iowa. He needed a victory. Not just, we might need it to gain some momentum. No. He banked his entire political future on the state. The Florida governor essentially moved his campaign there late last year and never backed up, or I should say never backed down. I call them never stand up. His allied super PAC spent tens of millions of dollars knocking on doors in the state. Plus, God knows how much in advertising. We're going to win Iowa, DeSantis declared at NBC News Meet the Press on December 2nd. But in the week before the all-important caucuses, Scott Wagner, the recently installed head of the super PAC, was doing something that aides found puzzling. He was literally doing a puzzle. Yeah, he was doing a puzzle! In the HQ of Never Back Down in West Des Moines, Iowa, Wagner was, according to some of his staff, spending a significant amount of time in the precious final few days constructing a peaceful 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle of a landscape. In a photo taken on January 9th, shared with NBC News by a Never Back Down team member, others in the room were hunched over their laptops. Look at this! Look! While those people in the back are actually trying to do something, do their frickin' jobs, this clown has a 1,000-piece puzzle just sitting there. This isn't, a day before they launched, 7 months ago. This is a week before the Iowa caucus. I mean, is this some kind of parody? I mean, you cannot make this up. This is how serious these people are. Staffers are putting their dedication and devotion to electing Governor DeSantis, and they come in and the CEO, the chairman of the organization, is sitting there working on a puzzle for hours, said a Never Back Down staffer who was there. Yeah, so this isn't like, they had a puzzle set up for, like, every now and again when somebody's walking by to, go use the bathroom or something, like, do a puzzle real quick. No, it's not that. This bozo's like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit here for 7 hours straight doing a puzzle in front of everyone when I'm the leader. Another Never Back Down staffer also said Wagner worked on it for hours in the week before Iowa. I mean, what is this? The fact that one of the top people in charge of securing a win for DeSantis in Iowa was spending time on something unrelated to the caucuses was emblematic of the mismanagement and wasted efforts that many of DeSantis' own supporters say have plagued the campaign from the very beginning. And in my opinion, this was one of the biggest problems DeSantis had. He trusted the wrong people, which, by the way, defeats the whole, well, Trump hired bad people. At least they weren't this worthless. I mean, this image personifies the campaign to a T. You have a lot of people trying their best to actually help DeSantis, and this bozo who's in charge of it is just doing a puzzle. In a comment to NBC News, Wagner noted that the office puzzle was there when we arrived. It became a sense of pride for the entire team, and everyone chipped in a few minutes apiece to get it done. Oh, bullcrap. When you have a lot of staffers saying, no, this bozo did it for hours on end. You're so full of it, dude. I mean, just think about that. Can you imagine being the CEO and going right in front of everyone doing their damn job and then, just sitting there watching them, doing a puzzle? I mean, for any other job, that's a slap in the face. DeSantis came in second in Iowa, but he was still 30 percentage points behind former President Trump, who captured more than 50% of the roughly 110,000 votes and had a historic margin of victory. Still, DeSantis tried to argue it was a huge win for him, and he has worked to lower expectations in New Hampshire, a state where he was never expected to be a strong competitor, which was the dumbest thing they could have done. Like, split your time. Focus on Iowa and New Hampshire, not just 100% in Iowa and F New Hampshire. Because guess what? That strategy doesn't work. At least anymore. It may have worked once or twice with Bush, but let's face it. Bush Jr. was not, he's a Republican. I'm just saying, like, his dad was the president. He was not, a random governor that, was popular. He was the former son, or the son of a former president that was also a popular governor. So, completely different circumstances, except they were both governors, but one was the son of a president. So, I faced a barrage of $50 million attacking me, and that leading to Iowa, and we were able to scrape a second, which, under the circumstance, I think was good. However, Donald Trump posted the victory, so I think he's benefiting from momentum here. DeSantis told at Fox News during an interview in New Hampshire on Friday, so we haven't spent very much money here. Nikki Haley's spending an inordinate amount of money here, which they're so full of. I mean, they spent hundreds of millions. Think about that. This campaign has spent ungodly amounts. Now they're saying, well, they spent 50 million. You spent way more than anyone combined. NBC News spoke to dozens of DeSantis' current and former staffers, as well as other supporters, about where the governor went wrong. They painted a picture of missteps from the very beginning. And this is really what happened. You know, no matter what the DeSantis can say on Twitter, this is what the people that worked on the campaign or used to work on the campaign said. DeSantis' campaign hired dozens of staffers in the early stages of the race, sapping the operation of much-needed early cash. Within the first 2 months, 40% of initial hires were fired to conserve resources. Which, that's Jeff Rowe for you. Get all of his buddies in, alright? Hire every single one of his best buddies to make some money. A cash-strapped campaign elevated the role of Never Back Down, which promised to spend $200 million, boosted his bid, but ended up mired in infighting that often spun off negative headlines, overshadowing the campaign itself. Focus on culture war fights cost DeSantis donor support, as many of the biggest anti-Trump GOP donors who originally supported him eventually decided to give to other candidates or sit out of the 2024 cycle. Which, I think this is the biggest reason. Culture war BS. Listen, I'm fine with you talking about how you stood up for parental rights, you stood up for kids, fine. But don't make that your entire campaign when people are more worried about inflation, the border, will they have a job next week? Can they afford a house? I mean, the culture war stuff, it's fine in, small spurts, but when you're doing it 24/7, it's like, dude, you're out of touch. DeSantis' decision to wait for 6 months after his massive re-election win to announce his run for president cost him valuable momentum, which, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If you announced right after, right, let's say like January of 2024, or I should say 2023, it would have come off across as this guy, he doesn't care about Florida. He doesn't. He's doing it for himself, and he just won re-election, decided to say, screw all of you. I'm gonna go run for president. But at the same time, I do think he waited way too long. I mean, he should have announced March, maybe April, not June. But you just look at this campaign. I mean, just look at this. This is all of what NBC said. Look at this. This goes on forever. There's fights happening 24/7, Everyone in the campaign's realizing, hey, we shouldn't have announced on Twitter. I mean, chaos started to happen. People got fired left and right. The messaging sucked. It just kept going so long. It just and people denied this. They said everything was perfectly fine. Nothing wrong here. Well, it was a disaster. I mean, the door-knocking operation was a joke. And now, there's a good chance DeSantis, not only is he done this cycle, he's probably going to announce in a couple weeks that he's out, but his future is dead. He doesn't have a political future as of now. He doesn't. How do you recover? I mean, just think about this. How do you recover from all of this? People know who you are and they think you're a scumbag that decided to forget Florida even existed. Actually, they used Florida for campaigning purposes, but didn't govern. What has he done for the state of Florida? What? You trusted the wrong people, and now you are done. I have no clue where DeSantis goes from here, but this single image should be a reminder. Never trust Ted Cruz supporters. I should say Ted Cruz consultants. Never trust establishment people. This is what they do. Everyone's working their ass off, and they do frickin' puzzles in front of them. Absolutely pathetic. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much, Godspeed to all of you.